You're listening to the Traffic and Conversion Show. I'm your host, Michelle Fernandez, and today is all about procrastination and avoidance, why we do it, and how to push through. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to the show. I am recording this podcast just a couple of weeks after Christmas, and my tree and Christmas decorations are still out. Now, before you judge me, unfortunately, we had a COVID Christmas. One of my nephews got married the weekend before Christmas, and we all got sick, but it was totally worth it because the wedding was so much fun, and it was nice that the whole family was together so we can celebrate. And luckily, none of us had severe symptoms. So since I host Christmas Day, I decided to do a Christmas do-over. So it'll be Christmas around here through the end of January. So I know you were probably initially thinking, OMG, Michelle, like you are a huge procrastinator, and there is a method to my madness and a reason to me not taking down my Christmas decorations. All right. Now, although I wouldn't identify myself as a procrastinator, there are things that I do put off doing. I would say more on the home front, like cleaning out my laundry room. And I avoid doing things in my business on the business front, like starting my new group coaching program. Now, I give all kinds of reasons, which are basically excuses, right? Making a case for why I'm not doing it, which is just me fighting for my limitations, and in turn has caused me to delay my success, right? And in turn has caused me to be sad, upset, depressed, unhappy. Does any of this sound familiar at all to you? Now, with the laundry room, by me not organizing it and cleaning it out, every Friday when I go in and do laundry, or anytime I run in there to grab something, I get super frustrated because there's stuff everywhere, or piles there. And every time I walk in, it seems like more and more stuff is in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, where am I going to put this? And who's putting this stuff in here, right? Well, when it comes to my group coaching program, my excuse is always time. And yet it is costing me more time and more heartache by not taking the time to build out the program and actually presenting the offer, right? So what happens is I end up, number one, not being able to serve as many people that I know need help running their paid traffic and who need help getting higher conversions on their funnels. And number two, I am not able to get to the next level of my business financially and having more white space on my calendar, which I would love, and really to get to that success, right? That level of success, how I define it. Now, can you relate to any of this? And I often ask myself, the reason that I'm procrastinating doing these things, right? I used to think that procrastination was like this mysterious force that keeps us from completing the most urgent and important tasks in our lives. And I also used to think that the people who did procrastinate just had bad habits, right? Or they were just really poor at time management. And frankly, I would also think that they were lazy, right? But really, it's no mystery. Procrastination is avoidance, and it usually happens when people have anxiety or about something, or a fear about something, or maybe they're even just dreading the task that's awaiting them. So instead of feeling the feels, like they just put it off or avoid it altogether. It's like when I walk in that laundry room, I am instantly in the state of overwhelm. Like, oh, this is going to take me forever to do. There's so much, like, where do I even start? And I just end up doing my laundry and I'm like, okay, I'll just mark it on my calendar for a couple of weeks and then I'll fix it then. But then what happens is it just gives me this whole temporary feeling of, okay, I'm going to get to it. But unfortunately, every Friday that comes, and even when that 2 weeks comes when I'm supposed to roll up my sleeves and get to work, the reality of that deadline is like there, right? It sinks in. And then sometimes it even gets like this guilt, right? Or the feeling of not doing it sooner. Now, I'm just sharing with you my laundry room story. However, when it comes to your business, if you've ever procrastinated and avoided things you know that you need to do in order to get to the next level, yet you're not doing it, and you're like, oh, why am I in the self-sabotage mode? Why am I not doing this? And then once the reality of whatever deadline or the amount of time that has passed has come, you may even feel extreme shame and extreme guilt, right? And if you're an extreme procrastinator, those negative feelings can just be another reason to put things off. Like, oh, I haven't done it, so whatever, I'm never going to do it. Like, I'm not good enough, or those types of thoughts set in. And then the behavior of avoidance turns into this vicious, self-defeating cycle. Have you ever experienced this, even to some degree? I know I have. And we're all different, and we all do procrastinate, avoid something, just at different levels, right? Now, some of us procrastinate by doing useless things, while others actually accomplish things, but not the things that they really want to accomplish in their life or in their business. You know, the more important long-term goals. So, one of the things that I do is I say, okay, what lesson can we learn from this? Last year, I really focused on stop beating myself up about things that really haven't gone my way. And in the moment where I would normally get upset and kind of go down that thing and complain and dwell on the situation, sometimes for the whole day, sometimes for a couple of weeks. Now, what I do is when I'm in that moment, I say, what is the lesson that I am supposed to learn right now in this situation? No matter what I'm doing, if I have another call or something's coming up, I literally stop myself and I say, what am I supposed to learn in this lesson? And it instantly shifts my focus to being more appreciative of this bad situation and gets me into the figure it out mode. So I don't repeat the situation again and be able to move forward throughout my day feeling more happy versus crappy, right? So it's really just diving into what is going on in the situation, right? What are literally the facts, not the feelings, right? Because we're all going to feel a certain way, but the feelings are not the facts that happen. And then kind of reverse engineer it. What led up to this? What can you learn from this? What might you do different, right? So that leads us into, would this be something that you would look into, seeing what might you do different next time? Okay, so my question to you is, would this be something you'd be open to trying next time things don't go your way, right? To really stop and evaluate what is the lesson you can learn. Say heck yes. Even if you're in your car driving and someone's like, who's this girl talking to? Just say heck yes, okay? Commit to doing that, because I'm telling you, it's gonna make a huge shift in how you experience situations, how you can be the bigger CEO, right? That next level CEO. Remember, what's gotten you here won't get you there. So these are the kinds of shifts that you need to make within yourself, within your business, within your mind, in order for you to get to that next level. Now, let's figure out how we might stop doing this to get to this vicious cycle, okay? So first, we need to identify what the real reason is that you're putting off the task, okay? Can we agree that it's fear, right? No matter what level. So you need to dive deeper into the type of fear, okay? So could it be fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being seen? Maybe it's imposter syndrome, which is another, right? I don't know enough, right? Or who am I to be teaching? Like, that's all fear. Maybe it's working outside just your zone of genius. I know for me, when I first started, it was a little like, okay, I know how to do this, but I did not consider it my zone of genius, but it was something that I'm working on, right? Could it be a fear of being out of alignment? Right? Like, you want to do these things, like, is this not okay for you? But as you identify some of that, you can, once you know what it is, you can kind of bring it back, especially when it comes to alignment. If you're feeling like you're not in alignment, well, what might you do in that moment to say, okay, this does not feel good. What might I do to move it a little bit so I can feel back towards alignment? Okay, so identify it. Notice how you feel once you've identified it. If you feel, okay, it's a fear of being seen, right? How does that make you feel? You know, really, like, name it, identify it, write them all down. And it just doesn't have to be one feeling, write whatever's coming up for you. Okay. Like, is it your hands are getting sweaty? Is, you know, what is it? Okay. Now I want you to go into writing down your number one goal that you want to accomplish in the next 90 days, right? Write it down. And I want you to notice how you will know, like, how you will know what you have accomplished that goal, right? So write that down too. How will you know when you've accomplished that goal? Meaning, is it a number in your bank account? Is it a number of clients, right? Is it, the number on the scale? What is that you will actually be able to say, here's my goal, and I know I will have accomplished it by this. Identify it, write it down. Now, think about in that moment, when you've identified that you've accomplished the goal, how do you feel? What is that feeling? Who's around when that's celebrating with you? Who are the people that you see, the faces that you see? What are you doing to celebrate? Where are you? Are you in a restaurant? Are you at home with a pizza party with the kids? Are you on the beach? Did you take a vacation? What are the things that you're doing to celebrate that goal? It should be something crazy cool. I don't care what the goal is. You should definitely have something that you're going to celebrate and who you're going to celebrate it with. Now, this is really, really important. Ask yourself, how would it feel if you did not accomplish those goals? What are those faces on your kids gonna see that, mom's been working hard or has been talking about this and you didn't accomplish it, right? Maybe you wanted to get a house, right? So it's the house you don't have, the lack of zeros in your account, the lack of people that you're going to be serving. Now, are you going to allow the fear, whatever that fear is, and however the feelings that you're feeling today overpower the way that you want to feel? That feeling that you deserve to feel, that you're worthy to feel. Like you are not going to allow that fear to overcome what you know is possible for you. Because here's the thing, you are powerful. You are stronger than fear, and you can do whatever it is that you set out to do. You just got to get her done, right? Now, when it comes to the how, with time management, when you're like, oh, but Michelle, how do I do this? Do I block out my calendar? Blah, blah, blah. How do I set all this? Okay, that's all something you can Google, and that's all next level. I even have a friend that has a course on time management and how to get your stuff done. So if you really need somebody, send me a DM and I will send you straight to her, because that is the least of your worries. You first need to move beyond that fear. You need to figure out what it is and truly decide and make a commitment to yourself that this is something that you're wanting to do. And this is something that you're willing to kind of push that to the side. Show up, sweaty hands and all. Show up, like literally sweating. Show up if no one is watching, because eventually it will happen. And I am like proof of that, because I have done all of that. I've done all the work to come through, and I know what it's like on the front, and I know what it's like on the other side. And I'm sure there's another side that I don't even know yet, right? You have to make that decision and believe in yourself, because I totally believe in you. All right. So let's kick procrastination and avoidance in the tush in 2022. And cheers to getting shiz done and making shiz happen. I hope you enjoyed the show. Until next time, let's grow your business together.